And good morning, everybody out there in Planet 417 land, Southwest Missouri. I got Bruce Porter here again, Dollars and Cents. We're going to talk about money and legal stuff. And we'll do that right after this.
Putting the client first. That was my main priority some 20 years ago when I started the Resource Center, and it remains my priority today. That's why I wrote Finding the Courage to Retire, to help guide you confidently along a journey that should be the most rewarding of your life, from creating sustainable income and preservation strategies to understanding Social Security, Medicare, and much more. This book is the retirement roadmap you need. To get your free copy, just call or email our office today.
All right.
Hey, how are you?
Better than I deserve. How about you?
Isn't that the truth?
It's always the truth. You know, people ask me when I say that, and they'll have different responses. Some people kind of understand and they go, hey, yeah, me too. Some people are like, oh, you watch Dave Ramsey, because he kind of made that phrase popular. And some people will say, oh, surely not. You know, you're fine. But it's always a good opportunity sometimes to explain to people why I'm better than I deserve.
Yeah.
So I like that. That's why I started using it. And it's always true.
Yep. We are blessed.
What about you?
It's been busy.
Yeah, it has.
I haven't looked up. I've had 2 or 3 inquiries from our show last week where we kind of challenged people to send in questions. Actually got some questions in. Ironically, that everyone that's sent in an inquiry, they want to know about safety and security of money.
Sure.
And 2 people said, I really don't care how much I make. I just want to know it's going to be there, and I want to know that I can use it if I need it. So when you're looking at really what people's objectives are, what's important to them, what's the purpose, what do they want, what their expectation of what they want their money to do for them from this point forward.
Well, so many people are looking to the stock market for security. I mean, how many people do you talk to or we see that they're 60, 70 years old and they want that security, but they're 100% invested in the market?
That's right. And then they wonder why they can't sleep, why their health deteriorates. Stress does that. Financial stress does that. You take someone in their 70s that's worked their whole life, and now they had a great investment plan, but now they're retired. So you got to revisit what's the objective of an investment plan. Now, I'm not working anymore. What's the objective of a retirement plan? Now, growth is involved on both of those. In an investment plan, growth is the only priority.
Right.
Nothing else matters.
Right, yeah.
You dollar cost average, you work, you put money away, you do what you can when you can, you pay your bills, and you maintain your standard of living, and you scrape together a little bit to go into retirement. And if you're lucky enough to have a 401k, it's done pre-tax, out of sight, out of mind, and people always go, yeah, my take-home pay is only this. I pay a lot of stuff. Yeah, you're paying yourself in the future by doing payroll deduction on that. But now you get into retirement, so now they're trying to sail off into the sunset. And what's their objective? Growth,
sure,
but also safety, security, sustainability, liquidity. How long's my money going to last? Am I going to outlive it? You know, mortality's going up. Everything's changing around old age. I remember my grandfather when he was my age, and he looked run down, old, wrinkled, sunburned, because he worked on the farm. He worked out in the fields. They had a rougher life. Mortality, when Social Security was created, was 66 in a few months, and full retirement age was 65. Now mortality's in the mid-80s, and now full retirement age is 67, and people are going,
some time.
I'm worried about Social Security. Well, if you're worried about Social Security, you should be more concerned about your own nest egg, because if Social Security goes away, which it could by legislation, poor management, we don't want to get into that today.
Right. No.
But when, if that's at risk, that puts more emphasis on you should take care of yourself and make sure you're taking care of your monies. I'm not an advocate of tucking tail and running, but I think in my book I described that, Finding the Courage to Retire. The answer is a mix. The answer is a strategic plan. It's cash reserves. It's immediate cash for paying bills. It's reserve cash for emergencies. And it's this workhorse bucket that is designed to grow and replenish as you need it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's one of the favorite things that I've ever seen you do is you show people and you say, we've done our growth. We've got our nest egg. Now, I love the way that you walk through with people. We've got different buckets. We've got the buckets for reserve cash. We've got the bucket that we're going to use, both of these we're going to use to generate some income.
Right.
And then we're going to pair that income we can generate with the third bucket, which is available cash,
right,
to create a secure stream of income that's going to last for how long do you want it to last?
Right.
10 years, 15 years, 20 years? We're going to use what you've done, but you've got to walk through the calculation. You've got to think, okay, if I want this pile of money to last me for the next 15 years, then I need to generate the income. I can use this money to generate income. I can use this money to supplement that to live on, and then I can have a reserve piece as well. And then I can take that reserve piece, I can lock it away in an asset protection trust to make sure if something catastrophic happens, that can't ever be taken away from your family.
That's right.
So we have a lot of fun.
So I like to relate to what people can relate to a story or an example. Retirement planning's like a milk stool.
Yeah.
I worked on a dairy farm, right?
Yep.
You can milk a cow with a one-legged stool, right? But you got to balance carefully or you're going to end up in the manure, right?
Right, yeah.
And so there's people I know that have mastered balancing on a one-legged stool, milking a cow. Now, that's retirement and your only source of income is Social Security, you can make it, you can survive. You're not going to be able to do a lot because it takes a lot to live. It'd be better if you have a two-legged stool, right? And it's even better if you have a three-legged stool. Once you get to the third leg, maybe it's Social Security, maybe it's a pension if you're privileged enough, maybe it's reserve cash and no debt. And then you throw in, maybe you were privileged enough to have a 401k, and now you've got that as a fourth leg. Your stool is going to be more stable than just living on Social Security, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And so now you've controlled your debt, you got everything paid for, you've worked hard your whole life. Why in the world would you want to go put it in a stock market that is volatile, that is risky? You don't have time for recovery.
You can lose your leg.
You could lose a leg over that.
You could lose a leg in that.
And you can't afford to lose a leg because you're not used to living on one leg.
That's right.
Right.
Hey, if you want to find out more about milk stool retirement financial planning.
Oh yeah, let's call it that.
Let's call it that. Let's give Bruce a call. His number is 417-882-1800. You can go to resourcecenterinc.com, find out more, register for our estate planning seminars. Bruce will meet with you for free.
Yep.
You don't even have to pay this guy. Just give him a call, come in and talk to him. He'd be happy to do that, and we'd love to see you at a seminar. And next week on More Dollars and Cents.
See.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AE Wealth Management and the Resource Center, Inc. are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet a particular need of an individual situation. The Resource Center, Inc. is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this podcast shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein, provided by third parties, have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by the Resource Center, Inc. This podcast is a paid placement.